Hi, Bernhard. Now we
Hey.
are at an optional video, right? But very important.
Yeah, for German customers or for for any
French, whatever.
non
Whatever
non
language that is not English, right?
non-English native customers or users, maybe this one is interesting because we are going to install a custom language pack. Yes, and there is one thing that we probably forgot to mention and forget to do, which
No, I
is
forgot to do it and you forgot to mention it. This
yeah,
is
I was a bad controller. You should make a checkpoint before you do the sysprep, right?
yes.
Because after the sysprep, the image is sort of only usable for new virtual machines, right? And you won't be able to continue from the last state, which was the
Mhm.
Visual Studio Code installation in our case, right? So
Yeah.
it is a handy thing to have a checkpoint there. Okay, so now let's maybe switch over to your screen and
I switch the screen. Here we are.
right.
So
Okay.
this is a checkpoint tree, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, after
we
the
missed
prep, we have a
one.
checkpoint, but not
Yeah,
but not
then
after the Visual Studio Code installation. So I will take this one.
and how how do you apply? Yes, okay, that's an easy one, right?
So I have
But
now the choice to do a
mhm,
new checkpoint to preserve the now,
mm,
this state, but I don't want this
yeah,
state. So I just apply it, and that will
mhm,
he will
okay.
get rid of.
Okay, interesting. Well, for the people that are maybe new to Hyper-V, right? So see that the play button has changed now to the to the checkpoint before that Carsten has selected.
Mhm.
And now the only thing that we need to do, not so many steps, but we need to install Visual Studio one more time, right? Because you said this is the before. And you used the German before, right? Okay, okay, all good.
Yes, I did.
So let's install Visual Studio Code one more time, or maybe we speed that up.
Yeah. You see here, I'm just the machine. I don't have to log in. This is a standard checkpoint where the VM is just continuing from the
Mm,
checkpoint. So I do the installation again. It's a very fast one. Then I do a checkpoint. Then we install the language packs. Then we do a checkpoint. And then we can do the sysprep and another
right.
checkpoint. So checkpoints come. It's good that you can do 50 checkpoints per VM. You might need it for your golden image.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, you might be, as ourselves might get a bit distracted.
Yeah,
But as you said, you can never have enough checkpoints.
not with the
Maybe.
golden image.
Okay. Um.
So so it should
Yes.
come here.
Mhm. Okay.
Come on, give me the checkpoint. Yes,
Okay.
there we are.
And maybe regarding the language pack installation, right? Um,
Yeah.
this is probably a step where you need to start off by using the UI for adding the components to it. However, you may end up still using some PowerShell code if you follow up the official documentation for it.
Mhm.
So let me try to find out the official documentation so that you can at least show it, and then we do the PowerShell based approach on how to do the installation. Okay.
Please do. By the way, I will download something while you are looking for the documentation. So here is your very generous GitHub repository. You can get to it by using aka.ms and bfrank, and we are in the Azure Stack HCI part, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
AVD, and
Mhm.
here you find YouTube series.
Yes. So it's the same repository that we used in the previous videos for it will grow over the time a little bit, and I put it in as an optional item here. Yes. And I found the link. If you would, look into the chat window, you can copy it over.
Yeah. The problem
Option.
is I can't copy it over because I'm not
Okay.
in the enhanced session
Then
mode. So
maybe just switch to my screen, and then I can show it to you.
here we
Just
are.
to thank you. So there is an official documentation for that, right? And it's the official virtual desktop documentation, right? So although we have Azure Virtual Desktop, these things still apply to Azure Virtual Desktop hosted on HCI, right? And depending on the version of which Windows 11 you are using, you may need to download the language pack files by using the different ISO files and the links that are posted here, right? So the one that we've been using, or we will be using, is the 24H2, right? The brand new one. And we created that script that Carsten is just loading in the screen, and we hopefully all turns out good. Tests have been successful, right? So now let's see if it's in the video successful, which is not always the case, but let's see. And it should do, the operating system update so that the display language is German. Then the next thing will be, the inbox applications. They should also be German, right? So if you open up Notepad, if you really want to have it or use it, right, it also should be using German language. And then we are also, want to have German for Office. All right. So let's see if that works out. And that should be all in there. Because for the Office applications, there is another link, because Office applications need to be treated with the Office deployment tool. And if you're interested in there, look into the PowerShell code for that, right? But we don't, fiddle around the PowerShell code too much. Look into it if you want to learn more. But this is more like we kick it off and then talk maybe a little bit about the what happens at the moment. Okay, Carsten, back
exactly.
to your screen.
I will go back to my screen. I took the liberty to already download or to mark the script in GitHub and copy it to Visual Studio Code. I started Visual Studio Code, and I
Okay.
maybe did an error. We will see. I installed the PowerShell module in Visual Studio Code, so maybe that will kill our sysprep process, but we will see. Okay, here's the script. Should I do a sysprep now just to check?
No, let's keep it off. The only thing is maybe you can do me a favor and do the screen a little bit bigger for that virtual machine.
Yeah, the problem is I have to switch to the yeah, and I have a problem with the password. Let's see. Administrator, and then we do no, I have a problem with the password. Let's just fix that. I will pause the video and fix that. So I fixed the display problem, so now it should be big enough, right? For us old men, okay?
Lovely.
I start the script now.
Okay, all good.
And it will just ask for the target language. We ask for it, and you have to use this. I don't know how the notation is called, but it's EN minus US or DE minus DE. So you have to find out which one to use for your language. And for the German language packages, it's DE minus DE. So I just enter this, and the script is starting. And it will download a lot of stuff, right, Bernhard?
Yeah, so, from the previous page, from the web page for the official documentation, right? So I was mentioning some download files for the ISO files, for the features on demand and for the language and optional features. And this one is quite big, to be honest. So there is, and then we have the Office deployment tool, which is the faster one, and that one is already finished. So it will be loaded into the C temp directory. So you should be seeing some things happen here. So the Office deployment tool is already there. And the other ones will take some time, depending on your download speed. That can take up to, well, a long time, right? Yes, 2 hours. I mean, all in total, I think it's 3 to 4-ish gigabytes that we are downloading here. Okay.
After that?
Yes, after this, we will mount these. ISO files and add the packages that are stored in that ISO files onto this operating system using DISM. And once we are finished with that, basically we will also add some packages for the inbox applications. And when this is finished, we will do we will instrument the Office setup here using the Office deployment tool, right? So quite something
to do, right? Let me ask you a question that maybe one or two of the viewers will have. So why not just install the language pack over the GUI tools in this Windows operating system?
Well, basically a good question, right? One of the motivation is that if you follow the official documentation, it will start using PowerShell anyway, right? So there are some steps that probably you need to add the packages for the inbox apps using PowerShell commands anyway, right? So and for that you would need these language packs or these ISO files downloaded anyway, right?
The other thing, I would imagine you would say it doesn't work.
Yeah, for some things, well, I wanted to put it positive, which is there is only that way, right? There is no other way of doing everything that you want to achieve with PowerShell, or at least without PowerShell. So at least I didn't find. There might be some, but I'm not. But the main motivation
if I would do it as an administrator, it would install the language pack for me as an administrator, but not for every other user, right?
Yeah.
So this way is a way to install it for everyone. Everyone can switch it if they want to. So we will have English and German in the image, and you can add other languages. If you do it with a, let's say, your personal desktop, it would be a possibility to just install it over the GUI, or at least some of the packages.
Yes, I mean the discussion for the GUI stuff or the installation is I can understand it because it's an easier thing, right? But that was not my motivation for creating that stuff here, because how often are you going to do that? Maybe this is a repetitive task. You may end up doing this multiple times, right? So for example, think about, hey, there is a new image that Microsoft brings out, like 25H2, no, not 25, 25H1 or whatever, right? So there will be versions coming for Windows, and you want to editing just a few code lines for the download links, may bring you already there. Or your images get corrupted and you need to do it from scratch, right? So maybe all the checkpoints are nice, but you screw something up and you need to start from scratch. Then having a script like this is maybe an easy thing to recover, right? Or to do it again. This code actually here that came from a totally automated approach where I used Azure DevOps for creating the images in Azure for Azure Virtual Desktop back then. That was not for AVD on HCI, that was for AVD in Azure, right? Where I wanted to provide customers with a German language. And that was the motivation for automating this stuff, right? So the web page with the official documentation brings you already halfway there. So I was just adding the other half to it, and I'm using it since then, right?
So the process is finished.
Okay.
Let's close Visual Studio Code and.
So did you do a checkpoint?
That's
just
a very good question. Yes, we already did a checkpoint. I was so free.
Okay, good.
So now we do the sysprep
Yep.
process. So let's see. No, we have to do it in the virtual machine, of course.
Of course.
What I'm doing here. Too many windows. So let's go to Windows. Then System 32.
Yep.
Sysprep.
Yep.
And let's do a sysprep. So, and out of box experience, generalize and shut down.
Correct.
Okay, let's do it. Oops.
Okay. Yeah.
Now
so
we have a problem. We talked about that before. That can happen, right?
Yeah, have a look into the log file, right? Because that would indicate, what is wrong.
So here's the Panther directory, and here's the error file. So
correct.
Let's open that. I got it. So let's look where the problem is. It seems like we have a problem with this package, with the handwriting package. We had that before, somewhere.
Yeah, it seems that this one was installed under the user context, but not for all users. Rather than troubleshooting or reinstalling that in a manner or for all users, I would, for the sake of continuing, I would fix that error just by removing that package.
Yeah, let's see. So let's copy that. And there is some magic, so we have to use the get.
Now, just
not there.
Just do the remove -appx package.
X package. So let's do the remove.
Okay.
Let's try that, huh?
Yep. Okay, so that should be it. And so now let's see if that problem is solved just by doing that.
Yeah, now the question, should I do another checkpoint?
Well, no, I don't.
We can do 50, so let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
not delete, do. So where's the checkpoint here? So because if the sysprep works, the system is shut down and sysprep, right?
Before sysprep, right? Yeah, you're right. Correct. We should do a checkpoint before sysprep,
So
right?
let's name this after.
No, just name it before sysprep. I would do
language. No, because language pack and the installation of handwriting. Yeah. Oh, it's too long. That's unbelievable. After language pack 2. Let's do it this way. Okay. I hope it will work. So let's see. So we go one directory upwards, sysprep again. That's right. Generalize and shut down. And let's see what happens. So that looks better because the error was very, very early in the process. So it seems like that is working. We will see if the machine is shutting down. We are good. Then we do another checkpoint and then export the machine.
Yep.
And in the next video, we will talk about how we get this image into our image library, right?
Correct.
So.
And we need to have it in our image library because we are creating the virtual machines for Azure Virtual Desktop using the Azure portal, right? And for that, in order to do that, it needs to be at the proper place, which is the HCI image library. Okay. Sounds good.
It sounds good, but let's just do it. Why is it taking? It takes a bit of time. We can wait. Nowadays, it's most of the time I'm waiting. Yeah, so the machine is should go down. It's still there, still running. So now it's stopping the services. So any second, yeah, now it's off. So we do our our next checkpoint after sysprep. Okay, and now you've seen that in the video before. We can just do an export, not here. That would be everything. We export the checkpoint. So, and we put it to the same directory did it before. So it was C system, and then images. And here we go, export. And I think we don't have to wait for it. I just can show the path. Here's our virtual machine with all the checkpoints. And let's just go to system, images. Here's the directory. Here's the hard disk. And it's still filling up. But we have done that before in the video before that. So I think we can now finish this video. And in the next one, we do the library thing, right?
Okay.
So bye, Bernhard.